going on, everybody? It's CJ Davis here, and I'm fairly sure that the Overwatch League skins are going to reset very, very soon, and we're going to get a whole new rotation coming in. So I just wanted to take the time to talk about the Luchador skin, and if this is worth it or not. So right now, the Luchador skin can actually be purchased in the Overwatch League store for 300 tokens, or you can have the bundle for 750. And honestly, the bundle has some really cool skins, and I really think it's worth it. If you've ever seen the movie of Jack Black, that is a great example of what I think of when I think of a luchador. This is obviously a belt right here on the front, and honestly, it is really cool. It even has kind of like a Reaper-shaped skull on it as well. That's pretty cool. This skin contains a few different colors. We have gold, white, and black. And honestly, I think for a championship skin, this looks really, really cool. So what I think is really cool on this skin is this skull is actually implemented in a lot of different ways. On the shins, we have the skull. On the belt, we have the skull. On the guns, on both guns, we have the skull. I wonder if it's actually on both sides. It is. And then the face mask is kind of the skull embodied onto a mask, and I think that is so cool. The next detail I want to look at is this cape. Man, this cape looks really cool. So the trim on the cape is actually gold. The front of it, like, let's say we're looking at right here, this is what we're gonna call the front, and this is what we're gonna call the back. The front of it is this lighter shade of gold, and it really, I'm glad they didn't just use one color of gold for the trim and then have the same color on the back. I think that this looks really cool having two different colors. And then on the back, we just have this black that just forms into a cape. I think they did a great job of theming this skin. Look, you can kind of just see like little fire. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be fire, but this is kind of what it resembles to me. We have the fire on the forearms up here. On the side of the face, it also looks like fire / wings. That's kind of what I'm gonna be putting it as. And then along the sides of his upper thigh, we also have these like little fire and wings. And on the very bottom here, spoiler alert, this is also super cool to me right now. I just watched Black Panther, and this gives a bonus point for me. Not even simply because of the skin, it's just because it's freaking, this reminds me of Black Panther right now, dude. If you know, you know. One detail that I don't necessarily like about the skin are the eyes themselves. I really wish they would have gone with either like a white, I understand it's Reaper, so I understand he kind of has to have the little evil colors, at least a little bit on him. But the eyes I wish would have been white / gold. I mean, we couldn't have done black because that wouldn't have shown up. But white or gold eyes, I mean, they're literally just like little dots in there. I think it would have looked really cool if we would have had some white or gold in there. But anyways, let's take a look at the shotguns themselves. Man, these are pretty. These are really pretty. I can't tell if these are supposed to be bullets on the side of here. I don't really think they'd be practical if they were bullets. But again, I really like the skull a lot. And on the gun, you can even see the little fire / wings on the gun as like ornamental details as well. Dude, that is really cool. Let's take a look at some emotes real quick. We have Cackle. So let's take a look at some emotes real quick. First up, we have Cackle. Cookies. Danza de los Diablos. Not impressed. Shrug. Slice. Slow clap. Take a knee. Gauging options. And then dance. Let's take a look at the victor poses. Casual, enigmatic, menacing, shrug, metal, RIP, toast, stockpile, cackle, ready for action. And lastly, let's take a look at these holiday tricks. We have Death Blossom, Executioner, Shadow Step, and finally, Eternal Rest. Now that we got those out of the way, let's take a look at these golden weapons. So here is what we have on the weapon already. So what I like that they've been doing recently is they've already been adding all of this gold ornamental details to it. I think that is spectacular. They really have been doing that with a lot of skins. So let's take a look at what it looks like when it's golden. Okay. That is definitely not my favorite thing in the world. I will admit. That is definitely not my favorite thing in the world. I know they couldn't have done too much or else it would have kind of taken away. But some things just look better. I really wish they would have kept some of the white in there, because I think having the white against the gold would have looked a little bit better than the black, because the black hardly shows up on there, in my opinion. Like, I really wish we would have been able to keep the fire, like these little parts right here. That should have been kept white, and that would have given it some nice accent colors. still fairly nice looking gun. Let's take this intro for Reaper. Honestly, that looks really cool up close. You can see the skull a lot better in this than you could in the locker. Man, that really does look pretty much the same. So first up, let's take a look at these guns in game. Dude, oh my gosh, is the initial reaction I have for this. These are super freaking clean in game. Holy bollocks, dude. Dude, that gold already on there matches perfectly with that white and black. Like, oh my gosh. I really love the fire slash wind looking thing on there. The wings, those look so good in game. Those look so good in game. We even have another skull on the very back of the gun. It kind of reminds me of where you would cock a like a Nerf gun. You'd push that down and then shoot. That kind of reminds me of what that looks like. Oh my goodness. Look at these guns. Look at them. They're so freaking good in game. Seriously, those are like some of the cleanest Reaper guns I've seen in a game in a long time. And I just want to say something as well. A lot of people might not like this skin because it's not very Reaper. I mean, like, Reaper's Hispanic. That is part of Reaper's whole culture and stuff, is this. And a lot of people might not like it because it's not very spooky, it's not very Reaper-y, it doesn't really remind you of Reaper. But that's okay. I've had a lot of comments telling me that some skins are not good skins because they don't resemble the character at all. And that's pretty dumb, because the whole point of a skin is to change up the whole base character to make it look pretty unique. And this skin definitely ties in with the unique, and I think that is so cool. So yes, this skin is still valid for being a little bit more cartoonish and not spooky like the original Reaper, okay? So I've been killing the little bot trying to get a unique voice line, and I have not gotten a single one. It is just the normal Reaper voice lines. Whatever, it's okay. I really don't ever expect there to be any unique voice lines for the Overwatch League skins because it's just not very common to do that. But yeah, no unique voice lines for Reaper on this skin. So what's he look like when we do like an emote in game? That's a really cool character model. That looks really cool in game. What's our high look like? Nice. We just have like the little fingerless gloves going on right there. Firing the guns just looks pretty standard. There's nothing special we get to see when we fire them. But let's check out this ult real quick. In game. Nice. Honestly, that's pretty funny. And with all of that, I think it is time to make a decision on whether this skin is worth it or not. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this might not be for everybody. Like I said earlier, a lot of people don't like it when skins kind of move away from their original self and kind of are something that they're really not. And in this case, I think that this is probably one of those skins because, again, it is pretty cartoony. It is a luchador wrestler, and again, that's just not something you normally would see in this type of game. So it is a little bit different, but I absolutely adore this skin. I think it is so cool. I really think they did this skin a lot of justice. I think they did a great job with honestly perfecting this skin. I love the guns. I love the colors too. There's even 2 more color waves if you like something a little more bold and not as just boring as this one might be. But no, I'm gonna rate this skin an 8 out of 10. I don't really see many things wrong with it. And so with that 8 out of 10 rating, I think that this skin is worth it if you like more of the cartoony styles and stuff that doesn't really resemble the character as much. If you're not in that majority of people, this skin is probably totally going to be a waste of money for you, and I very much recommend you don't get this skin. But I think that for a lot of us, I think this skin is totally worth it. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.